Hi, my name is Dr. Gail, and I'm a starseed healer. Today I'm going to talk about an adventure that I went on. Now, this weekend I am at the coast of North Carolina in a kind of an isolated area, and I decided to walk down the beach. I think it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday was when I walked down the beach, and a dolphin met me out in the water. He was making all sorts of noise trying to get my attention, and I was by myself. So I decided that I would go in the water. Now, that's not unusual for me. I am a swimmer. I did triathlons for over 10 years, so I'm used to going in any kind of water you can think of. And so it was not unusual for me to, just to go ahead and venture into the water. Now, this dolphin wanted me to take its dorsal fin and swim with it. So I did. I grabbed on the dorsal fin and we went down. Now, for some odd reason, I didn't have any problems breathing. Apparently being close to him made it possible for me to breathe underwater, and because we kept going further down until we came to a city. Now the city was just kind of like an outline. It was like a more thick water. I'm not sure how you'd say it. Denser water is what it would be. So you could see it, but you could kind of see through it. It might be a little cloudy water. So then we went in, and I was greeted by a king and a queen, and they looked human, except they had, all the garb king and queens wear, except it was all made out of water, and it was just kind of a cloudy, dense water. And so they were, greeting me. The dolphin left me and left. I mean, left me there, and he left. And they gave me this little teeny harmonica thing to put in my mouth. Now, it did look like a teeny little harmonica, and it was to help me breathe. Now, of course, the first thing I thought was, well, how am I going to talk if I have this in my mouth? Before, of course, I was telepathically communicating and realized that's what we were doing. They could talk to me just fine. I didn't have to worry about that in my mouth. So the queen left, and then the king decided to take me to a room. Now, this city had different rooms, different areas, and it was also, again, kind of like a cloudy water. Some rooms you could see clearly through, some were a little more cloudy. And he took me into a room where there was a table, and it was an oblong table made out of denser water, had chairs that were denser, a little heavier, and it was a table of 20 different ETs or aliens sitting there. And he gave me a chair to sit on. Now, I sat down in the chair, and I have been to meetings before, not down in the water like this, but on the spaceship. And in fact, on my spaceship, we have a meeting there all the time, and it's about first contact. And that meeting's about 16 species or 16 aliens there. And I'm always there at that, and you can see I'm not Deanna Troy's when it shows you my first meeting there. It tells you about my first meeting there. And anyway, so I sit down, and the king floats back behind me, and he's kind of in between the next person and me. He's just back there. And I'm just looking around. I look like a tourist. I'm looking around. And then all of a sudden I look up, and there are thousands and thousands of different species of ETs up there. I was mesmerized, and I'm just looking at all the different ones. And it was like a stadium. Our table with the 20 of us sitting down, and then they were all around us. It went up forever. And so I'm in kind of shock and disbelief. And the guy next to me that's an Arcturian put his hand on mine, and he said, "It's going to be okay." And I looked at him, and finally I recognized I was the only person I knew there. And it was the Arcturian that does head up the committee meeting that I'm on for first contact. And he's the one in charge of it. And he's sitting next to me. So I was glad to see somebody I knew there, and that could kind of direct me on what was going on. And what this meeting was about, of course, it's part of the Galactic Confederation, but it's a humongous meeting, and I never thought it would be underwater. I always thought it would be in a spaceship or a planet somewhere, but no, it's underwater. And so the meeting was about the 20 of us giving our reports. Now, I'm a medical officer, and so I'm giving the report on the different hospitals on each spaceship, and I'm giving a report on our progress on, you know, the medical area and the research on how that was going. Now, you know, the guy next to me, the Arcturian, which his name is Suski, and he was, of course, he was giving the report on first contact. And then there was one that was giving a report on communication with the different galaxies and different planets. And then there was the military. Anyway, all of us on that table of 20 were giving reports, and everybody up above us were just there to get the information. Now, it went fine. I didn't have any issues. When I found out what I was doing, of course, you know, the medical part I knew. And so then the dolphin came back and took me back up to the beach. And so the next day I'm going, I wish I'd asked more questions about that city. And so I went back to that same area where I had found, or the dolphin had found me. And I went there calling him. His name was Henry. And I'm sitting there trying to call Henry to come get me. I wanted to go back down to that city. And he eventually did. I was in the water just splashing, trying to make Henry, you know. I was calling him. And he did show up, and he took me back down so I could ask questions. The king did greet me and gave me my little harmonical mouthpiece. Now, when I was in that meeting, all those different ETs, they all had different kind of mouthpieces and different breathing devices, which was kind of fascinating. Everything about it was fascinating. So anyway, I went back down, and the king was there to greet me, and he was there to help answer some questions. And I wanted to know, what is the name of this city, was the first question. He said Atlantis. I thought Atlantis was gone. I thought that had disappeared. And that's what I said to him. And he says, no. He said, we did ascend, and we are the positive. We ascended positively, and the others went negative. So they're on a different universe, on a different planet. And we are part of the Galactic Confederation, and we're positive, and we are from Sirius B. And so that's information I didn't know about. I mean, this is all new to me about the Galactic Confederation meeting underwater under the city of Atlantis. And anyway, so I asked him what the people were called, and he says, well, humans call us the liquid people. Well, that makes sense. You know, they're made of water, liquid people. And I'm not so sure that's not how we're going to ascend, because they do consider us a bag of water. I mean, that is how all the ETs and aliens look at us as a bag of water. And so I'm not sure on our ascension that that's not the direction we'll go in, that we'll become more watery looking like they are. And that's what he said, is they had ascended to that form. And so anyway, I was asking him, what did this city do? And he said it was a record-keeping city, and each room kept different type of records, and it was part of the Akasha record-keeping. And so he took me from room to room, and I saw people in there, and they just looked like humans, except for, you know, they were made of water. They had all the forms. I mean, they were watercolor. They didn't have our coloring, but they did have the features and everything of humans. So I was glad that he had given me that information, because I really didn't know where I had gone to this meeting. And that was about all the information I got at that time. So the dolphin came back and got me and took me back up to the beach, and I left. So I was glad to get that information, and it's something new, and I'm not sure how to verify it, but anyway, that's the information I got today. And this is for entertainment purposes only. My name is Dr. Gail, and I'm a starseed healer. My information will be down in the description box. Thanks. Bye-bye.